Hello everyone, Charles from the Bible Unbound. And today I want to go through a couple more of the tools that I use on a fairly regular basis. Now, I'm not going to go through them in any great detail. We're going to go through them in fairly rapid succession, but I want to touch over a few of the apps that I have grown to love and that I do use fairly regularly. Now, one of the first ones that I tend to use, I was turned on to this a year ago, and this is called Through the Word. This is basically an audio Bible version where you have a beginning intro that is basically like a podcast radio show that's speaking a little bit about what is going to be the main topic of what you're listening to, or the specific verse and chapter that you're reading in this. So an example in this, I will go to the New Testament in a year, and we're going to go right at the beginning of Mark.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Through the Word, and welcome
as this
to
kind
the
of a
New
radio show
Testament
vibe
in
to
1
it.
year.
And then once you get through with that section, you go on to the reading section, which this one is going to be the ESV
The Gospel
version
according to
of
Mark. Chapter 1.
And as you can hear,
The
that is going to be your typical audiobook. And it will actually follow along if I let this play a little bit
beginning
longer.
of the Gospel of Jesus
that way you're
Christ,
able
the
to
Son of
read
God,
along with
as
what
it is
you're
written in
actually
Isaiah the
listening to.
prophet.
So when it gets toward
Behold,
the
I
bottom
send
of the
my
page,
messenger before
it
your
should flip
face,
to the next one.
who will prepare your way. The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord.
But either way, so this way you can follow along fairly well with what you're reading. I know a few people that would actually listen to an audiobook version of the Bible while they're reading it, and it helps with your retention. You can change through multiple different versions by going at the upper right-hand corner, and you've got a choice between the CSB, the ESV, King James, New American Standard Bible, NIV, New King James, and NLT. So whichever version you're really comfortable with, it will use that audiobook reader. And they have not only this, they have a New Testament in a year, they have the Old Testament books, a bunch of different Bible journeys along the top, and things on topics: prayer, anxiety, faith, manhood, peace, temptation. And if you like a specific teacher, you can follow the ones that they're actually hosting. And it's fairly easy to go through any settings for your account, your appearance settings. You can do a light mode or dark mode. You'll see a lot of the ones I do, I tend to use dark mode because it's easier on my eyes. So that is the Through the Word, which I kind of like. One of the next ones that I do use a lot is going to be your Net Bible. So this is pretty similar to the web version. It's fairly concise, and in all the notes, like if I tell this to go to John, the same one we were looking before. So John 1:1 has a lot of study notes. And if you notice, you can do highlighting, you can do note taking in here as well. But you see all these little things like John 1:7, where he says he came as a witness. If you click on 15, it actually shows you a lot more information. Like if I showed you my copy, if it's in here, I think it's in the other room. But this is the same as the full notes version. So you'll see things like in the beginning, all of this text is that one note. And when you're in the actual study Bible version, you'll see that it goes all the way around the bottom and the top of all the notes. And it's arranged fairly the same as far as all the numbering and the notes. So if you want to take a note on something, you can do a note for like 2446. So do test note here. And now that will save a little note on the side. When you click that note, it takes you right to it. So it's not as seamless as some of the other apps that I've used, but it's still very, very functional. And if you want to highlight, and I love that little thing. So as you're reading and turning pages, it kind of makes you feel like you're actually looking through a book. It's really nice. And this one, I think, responds to whether you're portrait or landscape as well. So let me see if I can do it. Nope, this one doesn't do landscape. Well, but just like anything, you've got settings for which type of font you like, font size, whether you want to have your chapter, verse numbers, notes, whether you want your book selected in a grid and in a list or an alphabetical list. Pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot to this. You can easily go back between books or any user notes that you've taken. I like this as an extra companion, especially if you're doing a deep dive and you want to see if there's anything specific that the Net Bible had a note on. Because while I don't necessarily like the Net as just a reading transcription or translation, I do value the notes because they explain exactly why they made all of the choices. And I love the fact that they're actually doing this for free online, and they're only really charging for the print copies. It's one of the pluses that I do like about this in this series. So, one of the next ones that I've shown you before was the Life Bible, Logos Bible. Logos is going to take a little bit longer of a read through, so we will then take a look at a couple of the others. Bible Gateway is just like the web version. You have the same materials that you have access to, but I don't like the web version as much. That's why I only use it on circumstances when I need to do something like look up something specific in a study Bible. The subscription model is fairly reasonable. It's less than $5 right now. And you have all these specific study Bibles you can click through with all of their notes. And it's pretty nice. It's a little bit more clunky than the web. The web version is much more easy to navigate than this, but this is a good resource for on the go if you still need to look up something. One of the other things I like to use is called a Bible tracker. So what this does is help you in your reading plans to keep track of where you are all the way through. So I have things like my new NASME one that I was just about to start. I've only started a little bit in Genesis and Job. So the way you use this is you'll click on the book that you're reading and whichever chapter. So each one that you do, it counts it up. And then it gives you a total on your stats of how far you are into that Bible. So I have a New King James that I'm finishing up, and I'm on the last week of it. And you see that I have only really the minor prophets to go in the Old Testament, couple of the Psalms, and the last two Proverbs in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, I'm really down to John 1 through Jude, 1 John through Jude, and Revelation, which is going to go by really quick. So I'm setting at 94% of this read through. It's really nice, and it has little achievements for each of the sections you get done, different ones you can unlock. And it's cute, a kind of a little gamification thing. And what I like about it is you don't necessarily have to have a reading plan that's hitting you every single day. You can do it at your own pace. And I'm using this specifically to do multiple read-throughs. Like if I'm using an ESV or CSV or New King James, whatever version I'm reading, one of my goals is to do a complete read-through from as many translations as I can. And I'm trying to do it as a full read-through as my yearly plan on a specific Bible. But if I pick up anything and I'm reading through it, I do like to use this to track my my reads through, which is very nice. Another cute little one here is from the Bible Project. Now, you remember all the nice Bible Project videos that are available through the Filament app? Well, this is just all of the Bible tutorials and playlist videos that are available through this whole network. So you not only have the Bible itself that you can read through, and they have, I think, little resources so any videos that they have that are related to a specific section, like in the beginning here, so your Genesis resource. So any of these you play will actually go through.
So the book begins with God taking the disorder and the darkness described in the second sentence of the Bible.
These
and God
beautiful
brings
Bible
out of
videos
it order.
they have, all of those you're able to access through this and through the player. And it's integrated with the Bible. It's very nice to use. So I would recommend this for like younger believers that you're trying to engage with. So each one of those little things, they can watch the video on it, or you can go through and watch all the videos in a series. It's very, very useful, and I do like how they laid it out. There's a whole lot of weekly playlists on the top. So like this last playlist is on God and Wealth with a 6-minute intro, and then the 3 points like Matthew 6:24, the vocab insight for mammon and wealth. We just did a really good study on that at my church recently, and I really like it. It's a cute thing to go through from time to time, and I will use this in my teaching for my Saturday groups when I'm co-leading. So if I'm actually doing the teaching and there's something relevant in here, I will use this as kind of more of an engagement, so that will kind of link people in a little bit closer to the specific script or the specific topic that we're working on for that weekend. It's a very good tool to use, and it's free. You've got to love free. Another good free app to take a look at is the YouVersion app. This is the classic Bible app that I recommend everybody to get. So if you're trying to see what other translations are and how they read, this is kind of what I used at first, because you not only have a really good daily read through, you can do Bible reading plans. They have these nice verse images they do daily. But the Bible itself, you can read it as normal.
Chapter
it actually
4
has an audiobook version.
Now it shall
that
come
you'll
to
play,
pass in the latter
and it'll track.
days
Let's go for a
that the
second.
mountain of
It'll
the Lord's
track
house
down to the
shall
next
be
thing that they're
established on the
talking
top
about,
of the mountains,
and you can follow along
and shall be
as
exalted
they're
above
reading.
the hills.
You have every Bible version you can imagine here. There's English and non-English versions. So if you're on the go, you can download that version and actually have it, so that way you don't have to even be connected to the internet to use them. Pardon me. The Bible reading plans are fairly easy and straightforward to read. Like this one is linked to my Jesus Bible. They have a devotional and the current reading for the day, and it helps you keep track. It even tells you how many days you've missed, because apparently I've missed 40 days on this plan. And the discovery, you can do by topics. You can go by the teachers for certain clips. It even has a churches thing near you, so you can enable this and see if it allows. It tells you all of these churches that are within your area. That is nice. And I'm probably going to blur part of that out. But it's a really neat feature to use. But I like this. This is a really good little app. And it was the first one that I've actually downloaded was that app. I showed you the ESV app. Bible Mesh is for something completely different before. There's the Bible Hub app, which is really straightforward. If you've seen the Bible Hub website, the app is exactly the same, and I think it's kind of mirrored off of it. But this actually has some really nice resources as well too. So you have different translations to read from. You have commentaries. They're in the section that you're reading. I think it has an audiobook version of what you're reading as well. If there are any sermons related to what you're reading, any other, I do like this. The interlinear, so it has an interlinear Bible actually built into it. I really like this. This is a nice little app. It mirrors what you see online. So if you've navigated it online, you should be perfectly at home navigating it on here. So that is a nice little list of the tools that I've went through. There's many, many more that you could use. There's even tools for your watch, like if you have an Apple Watch, that will read the Bible to you, or to be able to look up and do like Bible memorization verses and things like that. So there's many different ways to engage, and the kind of point is just to engage one way or the other. If audiobooks or audio Bibles speak to you, then this would be perfect for you. I know people that commute, that they're wanting to get through a larger reading plan, that will use an audiobook version of the Bible through like the YouVersion app or through the Word. A friend of mine had used through the Word because it has that nice easy chunks. They're like maybe 10-15 minutes to 20 minutes a day at the most, and you can have that on in the background while you're doing other things, and it's a really useful tool. So I hope some of these helped you. Maybe you've seen something that you haven't seen before. If you have another tool or an app that you'd like me to check out, leave it down in the comments and we'll take a look at it. So until the next video, we hope that you like, comment, subscribe, and let us know how we're doing. And we hope to see you again in the next video.